In this video, we are going to talk about evaluating piecewise functions. So first, let's start about looking at a piecewise equation. So a piecewise equation is two equations that'll end up on a graph, but we only graph pieces of those equations. So I'm graphing this piece and this piece. So x squared is part of the graph, and negative x plus 4 is another part of the graph. Now I'm going to graph x squared when x is less than 2. So this symbol says less than. And this equation we will graph when x is greater than or equal to 2. So what we're going to do is first we're going to look at this number and say, okay, which inequality does negative 3 fit into? So we're always going to look at the inequality part first. We're always going to look at this part first. Then we're going to look at the equation. So negative 3 is less than 2, so it's going to be this pink inequality, which means we're going to plug negative 3 into x squared. So I would do negative 3 squared, which would be 9. Now we're going to do the same for 0. So 0 is also less than 2. So it's going to be this pink inequality again. So I'm going to plug it into that pink equation. So 0 squared is 0. Now this one's tricky. When x equals 2, that looks like it could be either inequality, but it's actually going to be this yellow inequality because of the equal to line here. So that means I'm going to plug it into this yellow equation. So it's going to be negative 2 plus 4. So negative 2 plus 4 would be 2. And then 3, when x equals 3, that is x is greater than or equal to 2 again. So that's this yellow inequality, so it's going to be the yellow equation. So negative 3, the negative should go outside the parentheses because it's a negative x. So negative 3 plus 4 is going to give me 1. Now for e, we're just going to combine a couple of these. So first it says f of 0. Well, f of 0 we said was 0, so we're going to put 0 plus f of 2. We said f of 2 was 2, so plus 2 minus f of 4. Well, I actually didn't solve for f of 4, so let's solve for f of 4. So f of 4, well, 4 is greater than 2, so that's going to be this yellow inequality, so this yellow equation. So negative 4 plus 4 is going to equal 0. So f of 4 is going to equal 0, so we'll put 0 in that spot. I didn't mean to put a line through it, minus 0. Okay, so 0 plus 2 minus 0 is going to give me 2. Now this little bit of review from the other day, the 3 in front means 3 times the answer to f of 1. Well, f of 1 is less than 2, so that's going to be this pink inequality. So we're going to plug it into this x squared equation. So 1 squared, which would be 1. So 3 times 1 was give me 3. All right, now I'd like you guys to try number 2 on your own. So pause the video now and give it a try, and then play the video when you're ready to check your answers. All right, now that you've tried number 2 on your own, let's do it together. So again, we are going to have two equations. The first equation is negative 2x minus 1, and that's when x is less than or equal to 2. So less than or equal to 2. Then we have the second equation, negative x plus 4. Sorry guys, my color coding is getting messed up. Let's try this again. And that is true when x is greater than 2. So when x equals 5, that's when x is greater than 2. Sorry, guys. So that means I'm going to use this green equation. So negative 5 plus 4 would give me negative 1. When x equals 1, that's less than 2, so I'm going to plug it into that first equation, and I'm going to get negative 3. When x equals 3, that's greater than 2, so I'm going to plug it into the second equation. And when x equals 6, that's greater than 2, so I'm going to plug it into that second equation also. All right, now let's look at it on a graph. All right, when x equals -2, I'm going to go to x is -2 on the graph and trace that up, and the y value would be 3. Same here when x is 0, 0, 0, go down, and then y is -1. All right, now you try C and D, and then play the video when you're ready. All right, when x equals 2, there's actually 2 spots here, an open circle and a closed circle. We're always going to do the closed circle, so that's -5. And then when x is 4, that's right here, so y is 0.